Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that some of the videos on my channel are aimed at helping people who are actually involved in marketing. Marketing is what I actually do for a living. I actually generate leads for multiple companies in and around my local area. I'm going to talk about a strategy which I'm actually putting in place at the moment, which I am seeing results with. I'm going to talk about what I actually do and how I actually go about it. Now, I think before I start talking about obviously what it is I actually do, I'm going to talk about a mistake that I made and that I was making for quite a long while, if I'm honest about it, and one which I don't make now. And that is years ago when I first actually got involved in generating leads, I was kind of brought into it by someone that I knew. They told me obviously that I could start earning money generating leads for companies, and that's what I actually started doing. But the mistake I made I got involved with a window company that was a really good company, a national company, and I started earning really good money. I was getting big business leads, working markets, doing different strategies, which I've actually spoke about in my other videos. But I was actually generating these leads. But the fundamental mistake that I made, that I was making at that time was I was only getting leads for one company. Now this, I think, if you're talking to people daily like I am, I'm out in the street, I'm talking to people, I'm asking them, I'm trying to pitch them on home improvements and different things, right? If you're just selling windows, or you're selling a roof or you're selling plumbing services, whatever it is you're serving, the trouble is most of those people are not going to want what you've got to offer. Yeah. So it took a while for the penny to drop, if you like. But what I do now is I am kind of like a walking Google Maps, if you like. Whenever I'm talking to people and I'm pitching them on different home improvements, I'm listening to what these people are saying. I'm listening out. If they say, "Oh no, I'm not kind of interested in a conservatory roofs," or they say, "No, I'm not really interested in having my driveway paved," or I'm kind of I throw it back at them. I say, "So what home improvement are you looking at the moment then?" And if they turn around and say they might turn around and say, "Well, actually, we're thinking about getting our loft converted." Guess what? Guess what? I say to them, "Actually, I've got a friend that does that. Would it be okay if I take your details and I take your name and number and I get my friend to phone you?" Even if I haven't got a person if you like, in my diary, in my book of contractors that can do that work, I will always still go for the lead because I've got a tongue in my head. I can ring up and I can talk to people. Yeah. Now, what I've started doing, I said to you at the start of this video, I'm doing something different. Is that what I'm doing now is instead of when I actually um, talk to a person, normally, for example, I've got a guy here, I won't show it too much, but I've got a lead here, I get leads for a guy that does paving. Now, the trouble is with handing out or getting leads for a person that does a particular job, that's just one job. So what I do now is I've actually got leaflets which have actually got multiple tradesmen actually on that single leaflet. It's almost like a mini yellow pages. Obviously it's not, but it's basically it's advertising multiple trades. Now, the beauty of that is that when you're giving out a leaflet or you're giving out a card or whatever you're giving out, if you've got 15, 20 different trades on there, you might have a listing for a plumber, you might have a listing for a plasterer, you might have a guy that does roofs, a guy that does kitchen renovations, whatever it is. Don't you see that if you've got these adverts advertising these different services, your response rate to a leaflet, I can tell you it works, is going to be so much greater. Yeah? If you hand out 1,000 leaflets, talk to 1,000 people, and you hand them a leaflet, chances are you might, if you're lucky, you might get 2 or 3 phone calls. You might only get 1. But if when you're talking to people, you hand them out perhaps a leaflet for your main company that you're canvassing for that day, but then you also, inside that leaflet or underneath it, when you pass the leaflet to the person, you're passing them a leaflet that is advertising multiple trades, then your chance of getting a phone call is so much greater. Now, you're probably thinking, how do you go about this? What do you, because if like me, you've only got one house phone number, how do you overcome that problem? Because when people are reading through and they're looking at a magazine and they're looking at the different tradesmen, I thought to myself years ago, it wouldn't look right if you just had the same number. Yeah. So what I've done to overcome this is I have got a telephone answering service. I'm not affiliated with this. I mentioned it in another one of my videos. I'm just telling you this because they do a very good, I think I pay about £3 a month for each one of my numbers. It's not a lot of money. Yeah. So all you got to do, all I do is I purchase a local number in my area, which is the same area code as my own landline, and all I do is I leave a message in the voice box so that when people get my card, it might say on my card AK plastering services for a free quotation, dry lining, whatever it is you want to say that you offer as a plastering service, right? What you do is you put this number at the bottom of the leaflet. So when they ring that number, your voicemail will sound something like, "Hello, thanks for ringing AK Plastering Services. I'm sorry I can't take your call at the moment, but if you please leave your name and your number, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Your call is important to me." Right? Now, all I do now is I've got different tradesmen that offer different services with different phone numbers. So whatever number they ring, that goes to that voice box. So it might, it could be a voice box for plumbing, it could be a voice box for electrical services. It doesn't matter. But the only downfall, and it's not a downfall because one lead can pay for all that service, all the money it's going to cost you to set this up, it's peanuts. One thing I'm not sure about, and which I need to, is the legality of it. What I'm talking about here is to make it clear. What I do is that I have spoken to companies in my local area who have gave me their permission to advertise their products and services using my own voice box number. Yeah. So I need to make that clear. You can't go making up names and obviously making up fictitious obviously companies, and that obviously is obviously wrong. I'm on about going to a guy in your area that might be a plumber or a plasterer and saying to him, "Look, I can get you leads. If it's like a plastering lead, you might say, I'll charge you £40 for that lead. Would you be interested?" And if he says yes, you just explain what it is you're going to do, that you've got this kind of like leaflet, or in my case, a small like a circular magazine type thing, and I'm going to be advertising your business. And you need to stipulate to them that the phone call is going to be going to me, and I am then going to text him those details. Because then, as far as I can see, you're not doing nothing wrong. It ain't a scam or anything like that. You're literally doing something reputable. You're advertising a business rather than charging that person for going in that magazine or in that circular. You're saying to them, "Look, I don't want no money from you, but if I get you a lead, I want you to pay me for it. Is that okay?" Yeah. I'm telling you, I've done this this works, it'll work for you, but you obviously need to do it. Yeah. Now I mentioned about a service. Like I say, I want to stipulate, I'm not affiliated with these people in any way. There ain't no links on my videos or anything like that. It was something that I stumbled across when I actually was watching other videos on lead generation, because even though I've been involved in it for over 20 years, 25 years, I'm still learning. I'm still learning daily about how to produce more leads and with it more money. Now, the service I'm going to mention is a company called Soho 66. There's obviously other voice box services, but I know this one, it was so easy to set up. You know, I did it all online. I picked a number. I tapped in my number's 01255, my area code. I tapped in that number and it gave me, there was loads of numbers, 01255. You just pick your number and then it gives you a voice box. You then make your recording and you access all your phone messages. You can actually, they email you them and you get like an MP3 recording, but you can also just go straight on there and listen to all your messages and just write all the numbers down. Now that website, I'm just going to write it down, is I'm just going to write it down so see. It's www.soho66.co.uk. Yeah, brilliant service. I've had no trouble with them. I think I'm paying, like I say, it's about £3 a month. So obviously, if you've got 20 numbers, you're talking about 65, 70 quid with a VAT. But you've got to put it in perspective. That's one lead. Yeah, you get a lead for a plasterer, and he goes round and he sells. You know, a woman has her front all stairs and landings re-plastered, and it's £1,200. You've just earned 120 quid, and all you've done is you've handed a person a leaflet, which she was there anyway, advertising multiple services. You're not going to do it and get, 20 leads for each. It's something which over time, yeah, you build up. What I'm doing is I'm adding more services, more tradesmen to my circular every time I have my circular reprinted. Yeah. So at the moment I've got about 15 trades on there, like boxes, but I'm adding to it all the time. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, this is costing you money, mate. Well, of course it's costing you money. Business lead generation does cost you money. Yeah, if you're one of these people that are scared to invest in your business, then you're in the wrong business anyway. Yeah, if any sort of entrepreneur, I'm not teaching you to suck eggs, but anybody who wants to make money, you have to realise that you have to spend money to make money. Yeah, big companies do it every day. Yeah, they're advertising on the telly, on the radio. All you're doing is you're creating your own lead generation business at a much lesser cost. Yeah, I've spoke about it in some of my other videos about the sort of money you can make when you're selling these leads. I mean, I don't know, it might be that you're just thinking about getting into this. It might be that you've actually been involved in it a long while. So I don't know how you actually structure your wages. For me, I like to go on a percentage of the contract that is sold. So I'm not going to get no money if the lead don't sell. But guess what? If you throw enough leads, if you put enough leads in the bucket, you're going to pull some gold nuggets out. That's a fact. You need to realise though that all these methods work, but they only work if you put them into action. So, next time you're out and like you're thinking about canvassing and you're thinking about just generating leads for one company, ask yourself, A, is that company paying you the right money? Yeah, at the minute I get one of the main companies that I get work for, I only get 6%, which in my book ain't the greatest. It ain't the greatest percentage. Yeah, so because of that, even though I'm loyal to that company and I give them all my leads that are for conservatory roofs, it still don't stop me from thinking about other companies and earning money from other companies. Because at the end of the day, I'm self-employed. So if you start in your own lead generation company, you're obviously going to be self-employed. So the most important person in your company is you. And this is what I'm taking more on board now. That I am responsible for my own income. Yeah, you are responsible. You are solely responsible for the money you earn or the money you don't earn. Yeah, so that's why I mean, I've been involved in lead generation for years, but it's only in the last couple of years that I've really began to realise that um, some of these companies don't pay you exactly what you should be getting paid. So you need to have other tools in your toolbox. That's what it comes down to. You need to have other tools in your toolbox. Yeah. If I'm at work in the stand and a woman walks up to me and I'm pitching her on driveways, having a new driveway done, or I'm pitching her on her having her kitchen. Is she thinking about having her kitchen done? And she says, "Oh no, I'm not doing that. In all honesty, darling," she might say, "I mean, in all honesty, I'm thinking about having my driveway done first." Guess what? I get her name, I get her number, and if I can, I get her address. I get what she's thinking about doing. If she says, "Oh, I'm thinking about having my driveway re-tarmacked, re-block paved," I'm thinking about having printed concrete on my driveway. Even if I don't know somebody that does that specialist thing that she wants, I will say to her, in all honesty, thanks for stopping. I know someone that does that. And even if I don't, I find somebody that can, who is reputable, who has got good feedback, has got good good reviews, and I will give them that lead for a percentage. Because if you don't, you ain't using all your tools in the toolbox. Yeah, you've got to look at it logically. I mean, my main job that I am in a minute, that I do in a minute, is selling these insulated roofs that go on conservatories. But most people, A, they haven't got a conservatory, B, they couldn't afford to buy one if they wanted to, and C, it might be that they're living in a rental property. There's a number of reasons why they won't want information on that product. But it might just be that she's an old lady who wants her all stairs and landings repainted. She might want her garden done. Yeah. So you need to know somebody who you can pass that information to, who is reputable. I'm going to emphasise that, who is reputable, because if they're not, guess what? The comeback can come back on you. So make sure that if these people are being, if you like, courteous enough to give you their information and their details, make sure that in return you are doing them a good service, because I honestly believe that what goes around comes around. It comes around. If you're this sort of person that's misleading people and all that, it will come back on you. So don't be like that. You don't need to be. Deal with decent people, reputable, hard-working people that do a good job and who have got good reviews, and say to them, "I am going to be recommending you." Yeah, and in return, I expect you to do that person, give that person a good service, because what do I want to happen? I want that woman to remember me. If she's walking past me the following week, and I've got someone to perhaps go around and help her get her kitchen fitted, next time she needs a gas fitter, next time she needs an electrician, she'll think about my leaflet. And that's what I want her to do. I want her to look at my little tradesman leaflet. To think, "Oh yeah, Colin, he gave me that leaflet in town. Colin, he gave me that leaflet over the market. Where's his number?" Yeah? Something else which you can do is, so as people don't throw these leaflets away, because people do throw leaflets away. I do it myself. Yeah? What you can do, and again, get permission, put some useful numbers in your local community on these leaflets. You know, you could, if you want to be really clever, you could have like a little section, you know, like advertising events in your community, things like that. Perhaps if you want to get people interested in actually using your leaflet, and if you like, you getting in front of them, say to them, I'll offer you a free mini listing for the first month. So they start, you know, they might get a few phone calls with the number going directly to them. But then you ring them up the following month and say, look, I've given you a free listing. Would it be okay now if we revert to what I said I can do for you, and that is get your business leads? Yeah? Most people, if they know they haven't got to lay money out up front, and they know that by talking to you, they can potentially earn more money, most people who have got an open mind will see that as a no-brainer and will think, do you know what, I've got nothing to lose. Because if I go and get £1,000 job, say, to render someone's house, I've got to give that bloke £100. So what? All they've got to do is stick that £100 on their price. Yeah? This is what people do. This is what I'm doing. Yeah? This is what I'm doing. This is my goal, if you like, to actually get more companies on board with more multiple leads. Yeah, you've got to think about the potential of this. You've got to think about the different services that are out there. You know, off the top of my head, you've got electricians, plasterers, plumbers, paint and decorators, landscapers, roofers. You've got people that do loft insulation. You've got women that want, you know, disabled scooters, disability chairlifts, washrooms for the, you know, washrooms for the disabled. There's so many companies in your local area, and they will cut their arm off to get a decent lead. And most of them, and I say most of them, not all of them, but most of them will be more than happy to give you 8%. 10%, some of the people I get work for, I get 10%. But you could argue that 10% perhaps is a bit too high, yeah? But 8%, I think is fair, yeah? 8% is actually, I think, a fair rate. Bearing in mind, you're not getting no money for handing the lead over. It might be that you say to the person, look, you know, if you're a little bit worried about the person paying you, and you've proved to him what you can do, you might say to him, well, look, you know, I'll charge you £30 a lead, and I want 3% or 4% of the deal if it goes through. At least that way, you know you've got some money coming in. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of what you should charge for your leads. I'm going to make that the subject of another video. But I'm just trying to get you around to thinking that this is what you can do. You've got to remember that these are your leads. These are your leads, yeah? So if you prove yourself to a company, if you give you so many leads to a company, and then they go and write, I don't know, you know, at the time of making this video, my mate who I get work for that does roofs, he done £16,000 a couple of weeks ago. He sold 2 deals off of my leads, £16,000. I mean, this is a lot of money, right? And you can charge good. Basically, what I'm getting at is you can charge a fair commission for getting them leads, yeah. And if you find that one, you know, that you give leads to a company, and that company knock you, or they don't play the game with you, or you think you're being treated unfairly, then guess what? Just get Google Maps. Search for different tradesmen in your area on Google Maps and ring them up, tell them what you do and what you can do for their business, and I would say 6 out of 10 of them will bite your hand off for more leads. Yeah, they will bite your hand off for more leads. Just make sure, just a word of warning, make sure you monitor your leads. You write down, you know, you monitor your leads and what's happening with your leads. Yeah. If you've got a person that says, yeah, that's making you promises, and you say, look, you know, I've got a guy at the minute, he's chasing me, he wants me to get work for him, and I'm saying I'm going to get him some leads. But what I will do, I will feed him a few leads, and then I will see that result. If I'm feeding him 3 or 4 leads, and I ring up and I find out them leads are not being covered for whatever reason, or worse still, he's not paying me, then obviously you cut it off. You cut him off. Yeah. So it's difficult. It's not always easy. That's why some people would prefer to sell their leads. It might be that they say, look, I don't want a percentage, but if I give you a lead for example, a conservatory roof, or if I give you a lead, say, for example, a guy wants his driveway done, I want £80 for it, I want £100 for it, or whatever you can get, then at least you know if you give that person 2 or 3 leads, at the end of the week he's got to pay you. If you don't, you cut him off, he don't get no more leads. Yeah, that is one way. That's, if you like, when you're first starting, might be the way to go. But I would, if I was you and you do get into doing this, and you start getting, like I do, multiple leads for multiple companies, then if it was me, I would experiment with different ways of being paid. Yeah. It might be that you're the sort of person that if you pass 7 or 8 leads to a window company and they all pitch, you might be happy knowing that you've had 8 pitches, you've got £70 a pitch, and you've got your 500, is it £556 for those leads because they've all pitched. Whether they all sell or whether none of them sell, it doesn't matter, because that's the agreement you've come to. You might be happier doing it that way. But for me, if you're with someone that you can trust, if you're with someone that you've obviously still got to keep an eye on, and you've still got to, like I say, even someone you trust, don't trust them completely. You still got to police your leads, make sure they're being dealt with properly. But if you've got someone that you can trust and somebody that you know as well who can sell, then I would always say go on a percentage, because I think you're always going to come off better in the long run. You might have 3 or 4 leads that don't sell, but then you're going to have a 9 grand deal coming and you'll earn 600 quid out of it. Yeah. So I think you're better off. You're better off on a percentage. I'm saying that I'll probably go and have no sales this week now, but that's the game we're in. Yeah. That's why when in the past I've had weeks where my, if you like, main source of income or my primary source of income is, for whatever reason, I've had a bad run and the leads haven't come off, I've still got on my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth and my sixth and my seventh where I'm getting little trickles of money coming in. I hope I made you think positively about lead generation, and the purpose of this video is to make you think about multiple trades, getting leads for multiple people, leaflets with multiple ads, with multiple trades that all go to you. You have got to become your own mini Google Maps, your own mini Yellow Pages. You've got to be the place to go for when someone wants a product or a service. And there are so many services that you can offer, it's unlimited. All you've got to do is make these agreements with these people, because they don't want to do what you're doing. They haven't got that, they haven't got it in them. They haven't got it in them to go and get a lead, but they have got it in them perhaps to go and do the job. And that's where you come in. And that is why we as lead generators, or as people who are thinking about generating leads, that is why our service, our product is so sought after. You wouldn't believe it. You need to start ringing round, doing these, making these agreements with these people. It hasn't got to be anything, big in writing. Just say to them, just send me a text telling me you're happy to pay me 6%, and I'll start texting you some leads. That's how I do it. I ain't got all this, computerized, invoices, electronic. It's verbal. You're talking to people about helping their business, and in return they will pay you. It is that simple. I'm going to end it now because this video has gone on quite a bit. But please like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to earn money, if you want to know about marketing, I know a lot about marketing, and I'd say a big proportion of my videos are to do with helping working class people like myself, who never seem to have enough money. We live in these houses, and everyone wants more, and I'm no exception. And if you want more, you've got to do more, but you can do it the easy way. the smart way, or you can go out killing yourself. Yeah, I'm all for working hard, but working smart as well. And that is what that is what this video is about. It's about making the most use of your precious time. When you're handing a leaflet, to someone, it ain't just got one service on it. I know this has, because this was something I'd done ages ago. But I'm on about multiple services with multiple numbers all going to you. Yeah? And if you're really clever and you do what I do, you'll have other people putting these leaflets out for you as well. But that's the subject of another video. We can talk about, there's something else I want to talk about, but this video's gone on too long anyway. But please like, please subscribe. I hope you found this useful. I hope you've made you realise the potential in doing this, because I'm telling you, it works. Please subscribe, please like, please share, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a positive or negative but constructive comment. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.